ground up like that. I mean, when you get to the level where you get the monopolists chiming in and understanding the logic of it and how they're going to be able to save their planet and their families, future, not just their own, and be heroes of the community as opposed to the pariah that is down pressing the rest of us. I don't think anybody wants to be a down presser. It's just that from a certain logic, they don't see how else it's going to keep working. Think of it as like they want to make sure everybody keeps eating, and the only way to do that is to lock us all up and give us a little peace. But the other way to do that is for us to organize ourselves as communities and stop ripping each other off and fighting with each other. They can't imagine that from their position because to get to the top of that current system, they had to be greedy and think of themselves first. So they're the leaders of this system, and that's why the leadership of this system and the institutions of this system are not going to find the way out. And people are talking about doomsters. Yeah, if we keep going this way, doomsters. But now I've heard some people say there's nothing we can do. That's wrong. There is a lot we could do, but we got to get radical about it. And that's why, I'm talking about starting a new business that has all these, search community gives you all these assets. People can join it and they own it, and then we start building up the assets of the what we're calling a business. Again, we need new terminology by serving the people that own it. And this is, how that's just not that's radical. And hmm, it's not radical to think you want to lynch somebody. It's not radical to think, oh, how much you hate the rich or whatever it is, and we're going to turn around and make force everybody to do something. That's not radical. I'm sorry. That's a shortcut. It's not thinking it through. And it's not radical in the sense that it doesn't get to the root of the analysis. Radical means get to the roots of the analysis. It also, you could say, get to the energy levels that are necessary, get to the outside the box levels of thinking that are necessary. Radical means we're pinned against the wall or the wall's pushing us off that cliff. And are there little boxes we can climb out of to make this work? Yeah, we all have it in us to a higher nature of working together. The thing is, we don't trust each other because there's good reason not to trust each other. And now we're going to need lawyers to spell out how it is that we are going to trust each other. But we get enough people thinking along these lines of like, no, we're not going to just think we have to somehow fight the corporations that control all the resources. No, we have to demonstrate how it works more intelligently when you use that model of a resource-based cooperative community owned and serves the needs of the community and also respects the sovereignty of all the individuals. It becomes almost a metaphysical solution to how God interacts with all of us, the God energy of it all being there, and all of us being as much a part of it as any of the other ones, and having it all there instead of like, but we need to work together for all the goodies to be there. And that's really karmic, but it's also factual. So it's all one thing that comes again. It's physics and metaphysics. That love heals it. That's also physics and metaphysics. How is it physics? Because it heals. The healing, nurturing, and thinking about feeding the right things in the right way. It's a complicated thing. It's healing. That's what needs to happen in economics, in culture, in politics, and we have it in us to do it. And that's what makes relevant what everybody out there is doing in terms of what they're calling transition to heaven on earth or the 5-dimensional, next dimensional earth where things are beautiful and they make sense and they're not quite as painful. Painful needs to stay there, or you just run into a brick wall and don't notice that you smashed your face. So watch out what you wish for. No pain. And everything was going to be done in advance for everybody. Jehovah waving a magic wand. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things happening in a positive way, in a positive, focused, intentional way. That's the energy that Jehovah's whole concept represents, whether that's an actual entity or just represents the energy that we're trying to find the best version of within ourselves on this planet to make it work? And